Welcome back to City of South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash, and today you join me inside the Isuzu Mu-X 4x2. So firstly, talking about the interior of the car, since that's exactly where I am right now. This car is fitted with a 9-inch infotainment display. Works wonderfully. It's responsive, it's quick, it has built-in navigation. The navigation is actually quite impressive. If you live in like a complex or an estate, most navigations don't tell you this house number on the side, house number on the side, but with this one it tells you exactly that this house number is 22, this one is 21, so forth. How? I don't know. Isuzu managed to do that. Most navigation systems don't do that. Sticking to the infotainment system, this car is fitted with 8 speakers, including 2 live surround sound systems on the roof. There's one here, there's another one here. I think that enhances the sound. This car has a very impressive sound system for this range. Cars that are not fitted with like an optional extra sound system, the sound system in here is actually quite impressive. I liked it. Before the car that I'm currently testing as well, this was my favorite sound system. You'll see the car that I'm currently testing after this. So this sound system is actually quite impressive. Like, I actually like it. Only fault I have is that once you start going higher, the bass, like, it tends to rattle the speakers and all that, so it doesn't like sound as, and you know, sometimes when you listen to music you want to go all the way up, like, because this, I think it goes up to like 40, but once you're at 20 it's already loud. So sometimes you want to see how high can I go, so the higher you go it starts to rattle, so you end up just staying around 20, level 20. So that's fine, it's not a train smash, it's okay, it works fine. Moving on to the seats. These seats, as you can see, they're stitched very well. It's leather. The design of these seats, it's also one of my favorite seats I've actually been in. It's not many cars like these that are fitted with such wonderful seats. It just works wonderfully with this car. The black interior, it's okay. It's perfect for this. I don't think you'd want a white or any other color interior in such a vehicle, because this is a car you're going to be using for family. It's not like a luxury car, so kids in here, all family members, so maintaining a different color of interior is going to be very, very handsome for you. So this is actually a great fit. Space wise, this car is actually quite roomy. Like where I'm sitting position, quite roomy. Even enough space on the sides, even the armrest is perfect. The problem comes when you want to put things that you have. The only space, literally, a water bottle, yes, I can put it by my door. That's it. There's not like a huge door bin where I can put something behind my water bottle. It's very minimal. As well as in front of the gear lever. You would have seen in the beginning of the video when I was doing the shots that there is literally no space. There is literally no space. I can't even, let me try it now. Here's my phone. I can't put my phone there without it sticking out or falling off, you know. So that's something I don't like. I feel I'm not gonna fault Isuzu much on that, but I know the next generation, hopefully we're gonna do way better in that aspect, because the only place we can actually put your phone is over here, and over here it's also not like a deep place where your phone will be down there out of reach, because literally the only thing that's here is my glasses cover, and when I put it, I'm sure you guys can still see it there. Yes, you can. So it's really not that huge, and comparing it to phones these days, my phone is literally the same size, even slightly bigger. So space wise, Isuzu needs to do better in that aspect, but other than that, everywhere else actually perfect. Same thing on the left hand side. It's just one water bottle, no huge door bin. Glove compartment, you're gonna see it with all the manuals. It's not a huge glove compartment, it's just okay, but luckily you have the place on top of the glove compartment where exactly same thing as in the Suzuki Blazer is exactly the same over here. Size wise, everything is exactly the same. So space wise, this car is lacking, but I don't want to fault that too much. It's okay, it's fine. Oh, public service announcement before I actually carry on with this review. Don't forget to like, comment, and please, I know majority of you guys are watching and not subscribed, so please subscribe and click the notification bell. You know what that means for me? It means I get to drive more of these. I bring content for you guys, so please do it, man. Let's go. Anyway, back to the review. The climate control in this car is very tricky. The first time you get in this car, it's gonna take you a while to actually understand what's actually going on. it's something that you need to get used to when it's your car. If I give you this car right now and say drive it, you're not gonna know how to actually use the camera control. It's not as easy. Well, for me, it wasn't as easy. It took me a good few minutes to actually figure out what's going on. Where do I switch on what, switch off what, So that's that with the climate system. Steering wheel. The steering wheel doesn't match the looks of the car at all. The steering wheel for me is a bit dull. It doesn't have that. See the looks of this car, how beautiful it looks from the outside. This steering wheel doesn't have that. I feel like this steering wheel is the exact same steering wheel that I had in the Isuzu D-Max earlier in the year. So click the pop-up banner to watch the review up there. So steering wheel wise, not too sure. I'm not really too convinced with this. The rear seats, the space in the rear seats is actually decent. It's for myself, sitting behind myself, and you guys know I'm 1.7 meters tall. So sitting behind myself, I have ample space. I sit perfectly, and something that you guys are gonna be very, very surprised by. When a car has the third row of seats, because this is a 7-seater, the third row of seats, most of the time you think, okay, there is no space. In this car, I actually sat with a friend of mine who is 1.8 meters tall, and we actually sat properly. He sat like he was a bit like cramped, but not like cramped where, okay, no, Nikki, get out the car, I can't sit. Like you could sit, With me, I was sitting perfectly actually. I could do a long distance trip, but once I get to the destination, I'll be like, yeah, been a minute, But other than that, like it's not like it's not bad. Let me put it like that. It's not bad at all. I've been in other cars that have a third row of seats, and it's not that great in this car. And another thing that I like about this one, it's flat. It's flat. The 7 seats are flat. Other cars, specifically the Fortuner, one thing I don't like about the Fortuner, they're here on the sides. So with those ones, the third row of seats is on the floor. Another thing that I actually noticed that I don't like over the past week I've had. So now we're in June in South Africa, so it's very cold. So with those cars, the heater, it takes time. Like you'd switch on the heater, you're blowing cold air for a good 5-10 minutes. But once it kicks in, it's perfect. So that's really something that I necessarily don't like. Like it takes so much time for this car to get hot. But other than that, it's perfect. So now this on Isuzu South Africa, this is a new thing. Where you see me in the back of seats now. This is the first review where I sit at the back. So it's a new thing. Get used to it. So now I'm behind. This is my sitting position, right? As you can see. There you go. Like there's space, and I'm sitting up straight. So now the nice thing about this car is that there's a lever on this side. You can see these seats, my mistake, are already reclined. So I just push it up, I recline it. And then for people like us, youngsters, we like to, you can like literally sit. I'm sitting perfectly. I'm relaxed, and the space is still there. You see, and if I sit up straight, like there is so much leg room in this car, there is so much space here. And another thing that makes this car actually perfect for a long distance is this. Okay, I wish there was like a string here that you can just pull, but it's not a train smash. Let me just get it. There you go. This thing as well, it just works wonders. You can just relax, chill here. The water bottle thing, again, on this side of the car, like it's there, but with a big water bottle, it won't fit. Something that Isuzu needs to do better in the next generation Mu-X, but I have faith in them. The amount of work that they've done in this car is actually quite perfect. So that's the space in the back. Headroom, perfect. Can 3 people sit here? Definitely, comfortably even. 3 big people, 3 people of myself, 3 people bigger than myself can fit here perfectly. So where do we go now? So row number 3. So now we're in the 3rd row. So the seat is not back yet. I want you guys to see, so you guys don't think I've fabricated all of this. Yeah? I'm bringing the seat back now, right? There it is. Here are my legs. There is space. There is space. Headroom, not as much as when I'm sitting there, because these seats are slightly higher than those ones. So, but the headroom is there. The headroom is there, the seats is there, there's space here for an extra person to sit. These seats you can't recline them all the way back. So when I was saying, yeah, I'd feel pain after a long distance trip is because these seats are not reclinable. I feel like if I could slightly take it a bit back, so when I could just lay a bit back, it'll be fine. But other than that, perfect. On the side, you have a cup holder for a cup, bottle. Normally, that side is a bit different. You have a cup holder and space up behind, so it's a cup holder. Maybe if you're eating, you could put snacks, like maybe a packet of chips there. That's fine. An advantage of sitting on the left-hand side of this third row of seats is the fact that there's a 12-volt socket in the boot, so it's just slightly behind the seats actually. So you put your charging port and everything, and then your charger comes in front, and then you charge your phone with the 12-volt socket at the back. So that's fine. Disadvantage for me is that I don't have such on the side. So if I want to charge, come to the side. But other than that, for the basic need, those cars are perfect. Kids are gonna love themselves here at the back. Yeah, kids 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, they're gonna love themselves here. Actually, 10 years, and they're gonna think they're in a limo. The fact that I'm enjoying myself here, they're gonna think they're in a limo. It's actually perfect. I didn't expect this. Oh, by the way, there's also space here in the middle. I don't know. You could put your phone, you could put your wallet, you can put anything actually. So that's that, and then that's the third row seats for you. You can hold on here. So you're fine. I'm actually enjoying this car. I know it's perfect. Actually, let me carry on the review sitting from at the back. So this car, I actually enjoyed it. Do I have any faults with it? I'm trying to think. Faults, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't have faults of this car. Oh yes, I do. I'm lying. I do. Faults of this car. The rear sensors, right? When you're getting closer to an object, it makes that sound that you're about to crash, or you're getting closer to the object. So it comes from the back, understandably so, because you're going to the back. But the volume of it is very, very low. And thing is that you could be playing music. Once you pop it into reverse, the music will decrease slightly, and then it'll go back to how you were. So you could be playing your music, and then that sound is like deep, 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 but very low. So I don't necessarily like that. I feel like Isuzu, on the next one, those things need to be louder. Somehow, maybe it's in the settings. I don't know. Maybe I can adjust the volume to be at 100 or something, but I prefer that because it's very, very low. And in such a big car, when you're parking at a mall, and you car that you're not used to, like myself, you could find yourself you reversing into something on the left hand side, but you don't see it because you're not used to such a big car. Although the car has reverse camera, but it doesn't have 360 view, so you might not see what's on the left, on the side. So, but not a train smash. You just need to be extra careful. If you own this car or you're planning on buying this car, ask at Isuzu first about those sensors. If it's not a train smash for you, buy it. You're gonna enjoy it. I like that about it. That's one thing I don't like. Actually, we're doing 3 things I don't like, 3 things I like from the back of the Isuzu Mu-X. So that's number 1 that I don't like. Start the bad, obvious. Number 2, with this car, when you connect your phone to Bluetooth, right, and you're gonna play music, it automatically connects. Problem, it will only connect with the calls, not audio. So if you want to connect music, you're gonna have to go into the settings again, then click the music option for your cell phone, and then it will start playing music. Other than that, it don't play. So every time you get in the car, you stop the car, and you always have to do that. So I don't know, maybe I'm getting it wrong, maybe I need to set something. So if you do happen to own an Isuzu Mu-X, or you do own an Isuzu Mu-X, very well, tell me in the comments. And then just tell me in the comments. But that's number 2 that I don't like in this car at all. Woo! Number 3. My number 3 is my number 1. You see this list? My other list don't have top 3s, né? But this one is number 1 on that list. Number 1. The steering wheel is heavy. I understand it's an Isuzu. It's based on a Baki, right? But it is very, very heavy. Like the steering wheel is heavy. It weighs the exact same as the Isuzu I had earlier in the year. There's no difference. It's exactly the same. I don't like that about this car at all. Like, at all. Three things I like. Oh, before I get into that, don't think that there is no space. No, I am just stepping on something else. You see, there is space. There is space. I'm just being cozy. Three things I don't like. No, I actually did that. Three things I like. So three things I like. Number one, it has to be the engine and the 6-speed automatic gearbox. Again, go back to the Isuzu review of the Bucky that I did, the D-Max. That was a 2.55 5-speed transmission. This is a 6-speed transmission. That's 6th gear. Very important on highway cruising. I'll actually speak about that when I'm driving it. So I like that. I like I'm actually a sucker for gimmicks, you know. So those car has ambient lighting, like it's orange. So honestly, a car like this, what are we doing with ambient lighting? That's number two that I like. Number three that I like is definitely the space and the sound system. Space and sound system, one thing actually. So that's three things. Yeah, I like the space. Oh my lord. Actually, yeah, let's go for a drive now. I think it's time for you guys to hear the tractor. Aha, we're back. We're inside. Now in the front. I'm in the Isuzu Mu-X. I'm currently driving the 3-liter 4x2 turbo diesel 4-cylinder. 130 kilowatts, 380 newton meters of torque. Doesn't sound like much, right? I know. But trust me, it is much. It's perfect. It's more than you'll actually need. It's enough. It gets the job done. You hit speeds. Oh, another Mu-X. Wow. You know that funny thing, né? Before I actually start talking about this car, before I had it as a test car, I'd never seen this car on the road. Now that I have it as a test car, I think I've seen like a good 5-6 in a specific week. Other than that, nothing. So it's more than you'll ever need. The engine in here, the power that's in here. It has a 3,000 kg towing capacity. It's mated to 6-speed gearbox. Now let's talk about this gearbox. Remember I kept saying the 6th gear would be perfect for high-speed cruising. This one, perfect for that. You average nicely speeds, because right now I'm averaging 8.4 and the claim is 7.9. So, you guys guess it. With those car, see, just change the gear, it drops. And what I like is that you could be doing 120, it'll sit below 2000 right? It'll sit. You don't make a noise, you don't feel like it's struggling, like it's there, it'll relax. See, right now, it doesn't feel like it's chilling on 1000 RPM right now, and I'm doing 70. Like it's relaxed, it's perfect. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it this much, to be honest. Having driven its competitor for a week, the Fortuner in Eastern Cape, but I don't want to compare this Mu-X to that Fortuner because it's very unfair, because I had the 2.4. But for the fact that I've driven that Fortuner, let me just compare it to that Fortuner. This is better than that Fortuner, definitely. But a question that still begs in my mind is that, is the Isuzu Mu-X better than the Fortuner? I can't say yet until I drive the 2.8 GD6 VX model, because that's the top of the range of the Fortuner, this is the top of the range of the Mu-X. Only difference that this is not the 4x4. So until I drive that one, I'll be able to tell you. But looks wise, I think I'll have this specific spec, because there's ones that are spec'd with grey and chrome, but this one has like black detailing in the front and the back. The 18 rims, alloy wheels have black inserts. So looks wise, I like this. I think not that the Fortuner's ugly. The Fortuner is very beautiful. I think it's because I see the Fortuner a lot, so I'm used to the looks. So now with this one, when you see this specific spec, even you'll be like, oh wow, okay. Because I saw it on pictures, I knew what color's coming to me before I even got it. But pictures don't do justice. It looks very beautiful. And another thing, I told you, I'm a sucker for gimmicks. It has the ambient lighting, like it lights up orange. Fortuner doesn't do that. I don't know if the top of the range does that, but the one that I was in Eastern Cape doesn't do that. So that's something I like. Sorry, I'm actually on the air because it's a bit hot. So with this, I like that a lot. So one thing I know that this car won't be better than the Fortuna with is the power, because the Fortuna has 150, the VX 2.8. So power is going to be very difficult for this to beat or match the Fortuna. But for what it is, for the price as well, it's worth a consideration. I think the fact that we are too brand loyal. Toyota has been in the game for the longest of times. You can even see right now that Suzuki been producing cars. Fortuna just goes, the partnership that they have, go take that car, put a different badge. That car sells more because of the badge, but the car is essentially a Suzuki. So I think if we're to put brand loyalty aside, you know, and we like to go for what we experience, this is actually such a good competitor to the Fortuna. Looks wise, it's up there. The drive, it's up there. It's fuel efficient actually for me. I've enjoyed it. I've done 439 kilometers. The range on this car when it came was saying 545, but I've done 400 and I still have like what, just above quarter, so I can still do another 200 k's in that. So it's fuel efficient, it gets the job done, it's perfect. I actually enjoyed this for the past few weeks. For the past few week. Oh my lord. So I enjoyed it, I liked it, it's perfect. The cruise control works perfectly. The sound system, oh my lord, perfect. Those cars just the perfect all-rounder. I don't have, like, it doesn't have that thing where where I can be like, okay, this car, I'm not gonna buy it because of this. There's nothing like that. Like, it's an all-rounder, it's perfect. I actually enjoy it. I'm speechless for this car. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a bit of, interesting dynamics. I want to see how it's gonna going up a bit off-roading now. It's gravel road coming up, so I want to see how it's gonna handle these roads. There you go. So I'm gonna continue the review off-roading. Oh my lord, it's handling so nicely. So, wow, okay, and I'm doing 60 by the way, and I'm on gravel road. As I was speaking about brand loyalty, there's two Fortunas. I'm looking at two Fortunas right now. I don't know if you guys will see them pass. One. Hold on. Okay, the next one's not a Fortuna. It's a Viking. Two. You'd swear I am on tar road. You'd swear I'm on tar road the way I'm driving. So, Isuzu, well done. In all honesty, ending the review like this, those car, if I was looking for an SUV, I'd literally think twice before I get if like the Fortuna was also like Fortuna Mu-X, Nikki pick one, I'll think twice. Right now, I don't want to choose one because I haven't driven the 2.8. But if you're asking me based on the one I've driven, the 2.4, the one I was in Eastern Cape with for a week, I'm definitely going to take this one. The Mu-X is just better in literally everything except for the steering wheel. Steering wheel, Fortuna feels better, but every other thing, Isuzu Mu-X kills it. So it'll be very interesting when I get the opportunity to test the 2.8 VX Fortuna. That's the one I'm actually kind of looking forward to. So Toyota South Africa, if you're looking, you're watching, let's make it happen. But until then, I'm Nicky Nash, and there's the power. I'm Nicky Nash, and this is Isuzu South Africa. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell as well. Come on, guys. Thank you.